So, did a little bit of meditating. I got some Palo Santo burning, and I'm using my Tattoo Tarot deck, which I like, which was a gift from a friend. And I just felt like using it. So, I just kind of feel like there's a message that I need to hear right now. So I'm asking Spirit to source, to please give me that message I need to hear. What is that message I need to hear? And whoever's watching might need to hear as well. 7 of Coins. I'm looking at the 7 of Coins, and I'm seeing the sand timer, and it's telling me about kind of waiting and being patient. But going through the sand timer are arrows, 3 arrows, and what I get from that is that there's these different directions. These arrows are all pointing in different directions. And that I need to be patient, and time will tell me which direction I need to go in. Then after that, we had the Hangman come out. For me, the Hangman is like a change in perspective. So here we have the 7 of Coins. And then we have the Hangman, which, like I was saying, for me, the Hangman is kind of like a change in perspective. It's like, or like an upload or a download. Something that kind of comes to you like an aha moment. I recently had quite a few aha moments. And something I'd like to share is that I've been struggling with this idea of balance and, equanimity. And, I think, naturally life has its ups and downs, right? Ups and downs. And, so for some people, those ups are really high and then those downs are really low. And that can be a bit like tumultuous, a bit chaotic, having really high highs and really low lows. And, but at the same time, the high highs are like, incredible, like these unbelievably incredible feelings, when you're high, but then when you're low, it's like these terrible, terrible lows, And I'm kind of like, I don't have those really high highs or really low lows, but I do have those definite peaks and valleys, and I like them. I like being up, and then even when I'm down, it's like it's almost kind of adrenaline producing as well, because it's it's something like being attached to the drama almost, right? But but I know it doesn't serve me well. However, I was thinking of a more balanced, even, way of going through life, and I was thinking that seems boring. It seems boring not to have those peaks and valleys. But my aha moment was, in talking to a friend, how it's not boring. Having that kind of balance is not boring, because when you have that kind of balance, you are in a constant state of gratitude. And being in a constant state of gratitude is amazing. You know, you don't need those high highs, and you don't need those low lows, you know, because you are a constant state of gratitude. Everything is as it should be in that state, you know. And I think the highs and the lows, while they may be addicting in some ways and fun in some ways, you know, they don't serve me well. And I would rather, you know, now that I understand that space of balance, and you know, how it allows for a constant state of gratitude, you know, that's what I'm, you know, want to strive for in my life. And so this hangman is kind of like representative of having some kind of change in belief like that. And next to it is the King of Cups. And again, like kings, you know, are kind of like you know, representing having kind of mastered, not maybe not completely, you know, there's always work to do. I don't think anybody ever masters anything completely. But, you know, kings are very near mastery, if not there, you know. And cups are all about emotion. And so for me, this King of Cups is somebody who's very aware of his emotions, and or her emotions. Um, Someone who is not afraid to be vulnerable, someone who can um, express that vulnerability, you know. And that's where connection comes in. When you are secure enough in your emotions and in yourself that you can express vulnerability, that opens the door for true connection, for true authenticity, you know, and being able to connect with another person or other people in a very authentic way, as opposed to a superficial way, which to me is not really even, you know, connection. So that's what that is. Then we have the Knave of Cups, which is like the Page of Cups. And so not so much of a mature king-like energy, more of a kind of like you know, less mature um, energy about emotions. Yeah. Um, but the Page of Cups in the traditional tarot is also about um, offering something, offering some emotion, making an offer of some kind of emotion, taking that first step. So, you know, together I kind of see these as, you know, being patient for those, um, waiting, and actually, you know, not just waiting, but watching, watching. This is kind of about watching for um, those moments, those aha moments, you know, where um, you have some kind of realization, and you know, and it's great that we have these realizations, but then it's also important to be very conscious of them, and then to integrate them into your life, right? You can be aware of them and, you know, see them, oh, that's great, and then you let them go and they do nothing for you, you know, what's the point? You need to be able to integrate them. So be mindful, be aware, be watching for those moments when you get those you know, those aha moments, those downloads that kind of cause you to have a change in your belief system, to something that serves you better. Yeah, and what I think that brings along is this energy of being more in control of your emotions, being more balanced with your emotions. Um, you know, not having those high highs and those low lows, just really being more balanced. Yeah, being more balanced with your emotions. And that's what I think the king kind of is on his way to mastering, if he has not mastered already, right? Is that balance of emotion, like not getting so caught up in his emotion that it causes him or her to forget um, themselves. Yeah, getting so caught up in that emotion, like thinking you're in love with somebody and being so caught up in that feeling of being in love with somebody that you forget yourself, right? That's kind of what I'm feeling from that. And when you are in this space of really being able to balance your emotions, then I think new things come your way, new offers of emotion come your way, new offers um, of just different kinds of emotion come your way, um, to help you integrate it to be into your life, to be more balanced with it. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I think the overall message really, and it for me, it's just kind of like a not verification. What's the word I'm looking for? Just like a gosh, I'm at a loss for it. But just like validation that about this aha moment that I had about being more balanced in my emotions, and that balance is really going to bring in a new offer for me of emotional connection, yeah, with someone or something or or several things, who knows, but yeah, so it's important to, I think I've always been someone who's been very much um, attached to my emotions, attached to feeling really, really deeply. And I still think that that's a good thing. I think it's important to feel your emotions very deeply. Something I saw the other day is that you got to feel it to heal it. And it's so true, right? Because when you feel deeply, it brings you to this place where you're able to um, kind of ask yourself where this strong emotion is coming from, and then take a step back and look and see what is bringing up that emotion, and if it's serving you well, or not, um, and if it's not, then doing some healing, for it. But while, like I said, I feel like emotions are very important, I think it's also important to be able to have some balance with it, like not let it control you, right? I was just spending some time with someone who was, kind of experiencing some depression, and I was thinking about it, about that person, and about depression and how easy it is to give in to that, right? Like you start to feel like this creeping sadness, and then next thing you know, you indulge in it, and then next thing you know, you're in like this full-blown depression, right? And so sometimes we have to be careful about indulging in certain emotions and letting them take control of us. So the message really is about balance, about balancing your emotions. And when you do that, you get new opportunities of for experiencing some beautiful emotions, yeah, that are in balance. All right. Yeah, definitely something I needed to be reminded of. I hope it made sense to you and resonated with you. Thank you, and namaste.